Yeah.
I can remember being fairly young and going to Grandma and Grandpa Nelson, and get up in the morning and we'd have breakfast. Well, of course, they've already gone out, milked the cows, and the pitcher of milk is sitting on the table. I sit down at the table and I pour my milk, and I take my first bite. That warm milk. And I remember turning to look and saying, "Don't you have human milk?" Because with me, milk came from the refrigerator. I had not been on the farm that many. I mean, it was the first time I think I ever had that fresh milk, and it was not human milk. Yeah, warm milk.
The bank, of course, she retired in the mid-70s, I believe it says up there. And Aunt Catherine's bank was the first bank in Oregon to have remote television cameras at the drive-up window. In fact, the drive-up window was a block away. And it was a real unique system that her bank was right on the leading edge of technology. Well, one of the things that I can remember going to Aunt Catherine's house, this had just gone into effect, and she was really excited about it because she could watch a TV screen of whoever drove up. The people in the car saw a TV screen of the face and the bank employee that was helping them. The unique thing that they had done to this system was that inside the bank they could switch so that the people in the car could in fact look at themselves. They could see their own picture. And Aunt Catherine used to talk about these young kids who come in, and in Aunt Catherine's words, they get up and they switch the camera over so they just see themselves, and they try to smooch and look at themselves smooching through the drive-up window. And it's one of those stories about Aunt Catherine that, it'll always last. She'd come home with a TV on that one. It's hard to tell what they try to do now.
Oh, whenever you went to Antique Shore, there was always work in the refrigerator in the garage. And it's like, who drinks squirt other than Dick? Dick still drinks squirt. But at that time, I mean, you went down there and they had the bottle of squirt. Bob was saying, he, now I know, none of this, he went out and he would sneak the bottle of squirt. He just knew that's what the bottle of
Now, none of the rest of you ever did that, right?
No.
You never went out. There was conveniently located a bottle opener right there by the squirt in their garage.
We didn't do that.
All right, I'm it. I did it all. Take me away. That was a highlight of going there. But Aunt Catherine up the Storch house had another unique feature. In the living room, it had the fireplace with the mantle. And there was a particular time that I think they had all gone out for some refreshment, and when they came back, I can remember my dad standing at that fireplace with his arm on the mantle, and for 1.5 hours he stood there and told jokes. Joke after joke after joke. And the big joke that I can remember that finished everybody off was a story that he told about a little kid who went to school and was being taught how to spell his name with phonics. And the kid's name was Archibald Asselbrook. And when this story was done, I believe it was Aunt Velma that was in total tears and was just absolutely wiped out. Now, some of you younger kids may not appreciate this, so I won't say it, but sometime when you all get a chance, have Dad tell you the story of Archibald Asselbrook. It's almost as good as the two-headed dog.
Oh, there you go.
You want to tell that? I don't know that. Rondi knows the best about the two-headed dog.
All I know is I think it was Catherine and my mom, I think, are the ones who were astounded to find there is a phenomenon in nature of two-headed dogs. Now, I can't remember where they saw it, but they talked about it a long time, and I kept trying to find out where that was at, too.
You remember a two-headed dog? Aunt Catherine? You remember it?
Auntie,
I think Aunt Catherine remembers the
tell us
two-headed
about
dog.
the two-headed dog.
We were told that the older generation would appreciate that. I'm not there. And because I certainly wasn't around. And this refers to an attempt of Uncle Russell teaching them how to ski off of a root cellar that they had. And that Uncle Russell got his skis on, fell forward, fell down, both feet went out, and he never tried it again. Now, I can't understand why anybody'd want to try to ski down a roof of a cellar, but he did. Anyway, with all the stories that he tells, he had one about, I think Uncle Louis referred to a lot of hairless stories that in this day and age, it'd probably be involved around something other than a speech impediment.
A couple of things down at Auntie's that I'm sure all of us remember was Uncle Short's barbecue sandwich. I don't think anybody could do barbecue sandwich. And the other thing is we all got turned vertical frames on the homemade ice cream. Everybody got a turn. Oh, and Auntie's, you know, the recipe for mayonnaise cake. You know, it was like nobody makes mayonnaise cake, but it's probably the best chocolate cake you ever eat.
Some of you may remember whoever stayed at Uncle Short and Aunt Catherine's house in those old days. I had a story that we weren't at their house, but in fact we had met up. My family had gone to the coast, and we met up in Lincoln City, and we were staying in a motel over there. And they all went out to the Eagles to see what was going on out there. And when they came back about 2 o'clock in the morning, all of us kids that were there, we were fast asleep. Well, the room that we happened to have, my mom and dad and brother and sister and myself, was right next door to Uncle Short and Aunt Catherine. And about an hour after they got home is when I woke up and went out and got in the car. Because even in the car, you could hear Uncle Short snore. The man was unbelievably loud. And I understand Don had that same affliction, and that's the reason he was sleeping in the car the night his foot got caught in the horn. So you got to remember where any of that story comes from. It's way up that low.
I can remember going over to Grandma and Grandpa Nelson, and we always, Linda, Jana, Bush, Cheryl, and I don't know, any kid that was there, we always slept in the milk house. And it was like this big treat to sleep in the milk house. And we'd stay up half the night telling jokes and laughing. And then it was Janice, I don't know if it was Janice or Linda wrote about coming to our house and having so much fun playing with all of our stuff we had for our dolls. And yet, when I went to their house, they had real clothes. They didn't